Hi there, I'm Jeanette, stampingwithsafiandme.com, and today's project is this really gorgeous little project. They're actually my customer thank you gifts for March, so absolutely anybody that places an order with me will get this gorgeous thank you card in their pack. They will also get one of the little crates that will be flat packed as well. So they're going to get that so they can actually make it up. I'm actually going to show you today how to make it up. And then just for my customers, a little secret gift as well, which will also go in a little pack. So you can expect that. I'm not going to show you what's inside, but I'm also going to do some full instructions for you, and I'll also give you the measurements on how to make this up as well, but just for my customers. It's just a little bit of an extra thank you from me. So again, we're focusing on Celebration, this beautiful, beautiful flower. It stamps absolutely amazingly. It's free, completely free, up until the end of March, while we still have Celebration, as long as you spend £45 or more, and that doesn't include your shipping and handling, so just let you know. Now I'm combining it with the beautiful wood crates stamp set, and it's actually Woodward stamp set, and it's the wood crate framelets that actually go with it. Now these are both from the annual catalogue, and they can actually be bought as a bundle if you wanted to buy them together. So it is a saving of 10%. So let me just get on and make it, and I'll show you how I actually put it together. I'm making quite a few. I've got quite a few in different colours. Let me just show you the cards actually. Melon Mambo is beautiful. We've got Smoky Slate there, looks gorgeous. And I'm going to put together an Old Olive one. So the simple things that you are going to need, you don't need that much at all for this project, and this is what I really liked about it. You can actually use your bits and pieces if you like, but what an absolute gorgeous project it is. You could use it for Easter. I mean, what I'm seeing is, if you're a baker, you know those beautiful biscuits, and if you package them in the food safe bags that Stampin' Up do and just tie it with a bow, I could actually see that in there. Absolutely gorgeous, and then that to go with it, and I think beautiful. It really does look very nice. I'm not a baker myself, so it's not something I would do, but I do think it would be absolutely gorgeous. Or just fill it with Easter eggs. All sorts of things you can put in there. Anyway, let's just get on and make it. So the bits and pieces you're going to need: piece of cardstock, coloured cardstock, which measures 3 inches by 6 inches, scored in half at 3 inches. So you've got your 3x3 card. You will need one of the envelopes. In fact, let me just grab them. I've just got them here. These are fabulous. Stampin' Up actually do a set of envelopes to go with 3x3 cards, and this is what I'm using today. So I'll just grab one of those out, because we are actually going to stamp the flap. These are just fabulous to pop in there if you're not that keen on making envelopes, or if you've got so many to do that it's probably wise, if you're going to do a lot of these, maybe to get these. They're great. I've cut out, you need to cut yourself 2 of the wood crates, just using the framelit. You'll get 2 crates out of a piece of A4 Whisper White cardstock. It's just the standard cardstock. And then you'll get a little bit left as well. I've cut mine out in preparation. And you will also need, let me get my scraps here. You'll need a scrap that we're going to stamp our flower on. You need a scrap then just to punch out your star and your thank you. And then that's to cut out another one of the little labels, because I always like to put a little back on mine, because I just think it looks extra special. So let me just grab my Old Olive. Yeah, this is going to be done in Old Olive. I'm just choosing all my favourite colours for this. Bit of scrap piece of paper. That's just to stamp the envelope up. Now, where's my flower? I've got this mounted over here. So let me just I'm just checking to see that I haven't got any ink around the edges, which I haven't. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that right in the middle. I absolutely love it when we don't have to, when I can cut something out. So I don't have to particularly think about where I'm going to position it, but that's pretty central anyway. So while we've got the ink out, let me just stamp the star as well and the sentiment. So again, I'm just going to double check. No, that's absolutely fine. If I have, let me just grab, if I got some ink around the edges, what I tend to use are these little sticky buds. So if I got some on the edge there, I check my stamp and then I would just remove it by using one of those, just in case you happen to get a little bit of ink on and you wondered how to get rid of it. So let's just stamp that. Oops. Lovely. And then we want the thank you sentiment, which is from the it's this one. It's the thank you from that one. So we're using the thank you from that one. I'm using the star, and then also my little gift to all my customers. I'm also using that as well, which goes on the back, but we don't need to do that today. So just checking my thank you. And I have actually got a little bit of ink on there. And then I'm going to stamp that on there as well. Okay, I'm just going to put that to one side while it's drying. And then I also want to stamp the envelope as well. So I'm going to grab my envelope, put those to one side. And then I'm just going to fold it like that. And just tuck that underneath there because I don't want any of the ink. It's not enough. I don't want any of the ink going anywhere apart from the flap, so that just protects it. So I want my flower stamp again, which is here. This time you do need to be a little bit more precise because I want this in the middle. And I also want this little bit down here, so I'm just very cautious about where I'm going to put it, but it's handmade, so don't worry about it. It doesn't need to look exactly like that. That's the lovely thing about hand stamping. You don't want it to look absolutely the same, do you? So let me just stamp, and I'm not even bothered if it's going to go off a little bit. I'm just going to stamp it on there, and I am happy with that. In fact, I'm very happy with that. That's great. Okay, so that's your envelope done. And how pretty does that look? Right, let's get rid of the ink now. I think we're done with that. Put that away. Okay, so what you want to do is use your layering circles framelets, and you want to just bob that in the centre, and you want to cut it out, and then you also want to cut another one out using your layering scallop, and I'll measure these for you, and I've got one cut out, so I just whiz that through the Big Shot and I've cut that out already to save some time. I've also cut one of those out just to save some time here, and I'll measure them all for you, and my star and my thank you as well. I've cut those out as well just to save some time. Really easy. When you're positioning this one, all I did, just have a fiddle with it, and you know it's all going to fit on, and then just run it through your Big Shot. It can go like that, it can go at an angle, or it can go straight on. It's entirely up to you how you want to cut it out. So I just bob mine on. As long as I can see it, I cut it out and it looks great. So that's that. So we've got the star, we've got the thank you. We need another one of those, don't we? So yeah, you've got a little scrap, an extra little bit, because you just want another one of those, which I've got here as well. Okay, so I've got them all. Oh, let me measure these for you. I will do an instruction sheet so you'll know exactly which ones I've used. So I think the best way to measure these is once they're actually cut out, give you the finished dimension, and that is 2 5/8 of an inch, and obviously the layering scallop that just goes on there, which looks like that, which is lovely. Only just like a whisper of a border. And that measures, what do you say that measures? Just a little bit more, isn't it? It's 4, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13 16ths, 2 13/16 it actually measures, but it's basically the one, the easiest way, it's basically the one that layers on your layering circles like that. So, okay, so what we want to do is just glue these bits and pieces together. This is nice and quick, but really, really effective. This is such a gorgeous stamp set. So just use your Tombow, your glue. You could use Fast Fuse if you've still got some. You can use your snail as well, I would imagine, on this. But knowing me, I always use my Tombow. It's just not going to come apart when you're using Tombow. It's just a really good glue. So what have we got now? So we want to pop a little bit of the, I'm using as usual, it's the sheer ribbon, and it's the Whisper White sheer ribbon. I've just used the standard Whisper White for everything. I haven't used the thick at all, and I'm not going to tie a bow for this. It doesn't, well, I don't think it needs it. You can if you want, entirely up to you. So I'm just going to tie a knot. I much prefer just a knot like that. There we go, that's done. Scissors. And yeah, I'm going to do some full instructions and put them over on my blog, so you've got them there. I really do like these printable ones. I just think great for me, because when I also do classes at home, you see, so I can just go onto my blog and just think, yep, we're going to do that one this week. So I just go on and print it off, so everybody can actually go home with all the measurements as well. So it does save me in the long run because I'm having to do them. So okay, decide which way you want it. I like my cards to go like that. You could have them going like that if you wish, it's entirely up to you, and I quite like mine around about there. So I'm going to pop this on first, another little bit of Tombow on the back, and then just pop it on. Okay, and then I'm going to use a mini glue dot just to put my sentiment on my card. Paper piercer to actually remove them is great. Just going to fold it in half. Actually, I'm wrapping it and folding it in half so it fits on the back like that. And then I'm going to just, you know, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the other one, but I'm liking that, so I'm going to pop that there. Now I'm also going to pop on these gorgeous the basic pearls, the pearls, oh, they're just so nice. I've got these on the rhinestones, they're really nice. Do you know what, sometimes what I do, if I am putting them in the post, what I do tend to do, just find a little bit of scrap, I tend to put a little bit of my Tombow on there, and I tend to put just a touch. They are self-adhesive, but I don't want them at all to ping off, and I have found in the past, if I'm doing cards and popping them in the post, if they have come off, then, you know, it's a real shame. So I just find just popping a little bit of Tombow on, they aren't going to come off. I'm sure that they are going to stay on. But saying that, I probably wouldn't put this in the post anyway. I think they're too small, so they do want to be handed out, but I still like to do that. I think it's habit, really. Excuse me. But you don't need to. They do have sticky on the back. So I'm just going to put that to one side when it's drying. In fact, let's just do this star as well. All at it. Tiny little bit on there. And let's just put a third one on. This is just the way I like to craft. and sometimes it is just trial and error. And that will dry, so let's just put that to one side, and I'll show you how to make up the crate. Now when you've cut these out, they do have the score lines. Now we do want to fold them that way, and we're going to burnish that way, but I found with this crate that if you fold the other way slightly and then fold the correct way, I don't know if it's just mine, but I find that it just goes together a little bit better. So fold the opposite way, just halfway. You don't want to fold it all the way because you don't want to tear it, and then fold it the way you want. So if you are struggling with your crates, then try that, and then folding it that way. Let's fold this one as well, and then fold them the right way, and then give them a burnish. Let's do the other one as well. So the wrong way and the right way. I'll do them all at once actually. Wrong way, then the right way. The wrong way, then the right way. And I'm just going to give them all a burnish. And they go together so really prettily. Okay, so how they're going to go, if you're not sure, if you haven't got this set yourself, that just goes on top of each other like that. So you get a really strong little crate. Tombow again, I always like to use Tombow. I think some people do use the tear tape, but I love this stuff. So I'm going to get into the corners. And then I'm going to slide it on. I mean, that's another reason why I do like to use it as well. It is a very strong glue, but it does also, if you need to move it around, it does give you that little bit of extra time to move it, so you've got it in exactly the right place. So let's just use that, and then you can see how it's going to go together. So that will just fold up like that. And then do the opposite side as well. So again, I'm going to put some Tombow on the sides. You take more care, as always, when you're doing yours. I'm doing this fairly quickly, so the video's not too long. So yeah, these will be going in the post to my customers for any order that's placed with me in March. So if you haven't got the crate set and you wondered what it was like, then yeah, I'll put a sample in the post to you, don't worry. That is so lovely. I'm making it look really fiddly, and it's really not that fiddly to put together. Sorry, I hope I haven't taken that off camera. I'll just hold it together for a second, but they are so beautiful, these little crates. And of course you've got the wood DSP, which they look beautiful in those as well. But I do like to use the just standard cardstock. You can just do it in anything. Do it in DSP, cardstock. It cuts really well. And then the last one, just pop a little bit on there, the outside. And then just pop it in. And that's how to make the absolutely gorgeous little crate. Then we want the star that we cut earlier. You could use a glue dot. I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensional, just so it pops off the crate a little bit more. Stick to you everywhere, those little shapes. and then just pop that in the middle there, and then finish it off with some Wink of Stella. Be careful, if your ink hasn't dried, you don't want it to bleed into the white, so just add it on. It'll just give that added sparkle. And then what I also like to do as well, just bob a little bit around the flower as well, and then when that's dried, it just gives that added sparkle. I don't think you'll be able to pick it up really on camera, but anybody placing an order will actually get them. And how beautiful does that look? They look absolutely adorable. Pop that inside there so you can see how pretty it looks. Absolutely lovely, really do like this. So yeah, just go onto my blog. I will list all the products that I've actually used on there, all the sizes and everything, and then of course my new printable instruction sheet for you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed that project as well. Thank you. Bye bye.